Hey everybody, this is Mary Ellen from Planning with Bumble, and today I'm here to talk to you about pens. So the number one question I get from everybody is, which are your favorite pens to use in your planner? Now, I'm just gonna be talking about black pens today because most of the time I only use black pens in my planner. Once in a while I'll throw some colored ones in there, but for the most part I use black. And I'm just gonna get started and show you which ones I use the most first. So this is probably my most favorite pen. I've ordered so many of these. This is the Pentel Energel, and it's a liquid gel pen. This is the needle tip, which is a 0.5, and I use this pen for most of my to-do lists and smaller writing in my planner. You can see it's a nice thickness. It's not really too thick and not too thin, and it writes super smooth. I just love the way this writes. It does kind of run out pretty quickly, I've noticed, but for me it's worth it. So I buy a whole bunch at once and I can't be without these pens. So that's the first one. The second Pentel Energel pen is the 0.7. This is the one I use probably second most often. And this is a similar, it's very smooth. This is actually even a little bit smoother than the 0.5, but it's a little bit bigger, it's a little thicker, so I don't use it for my very small writing. I'll use it for if I feel like, it really depends. If I feel like having my writing look thicker, depending on what my spread looks like, maybe I want more thick writing, then I'll use this. If I'm writing a little bit bigger, I'll use this as well. So I kind of alternate back and forth between those two for the most part. I also have another Pentel Energel, and this is a needle tip. I have washi on it because I wanted to distinguish it from the other silver pen, but this is a 0.3. So this is really, really thin, and you can see the difference here. I don't use this very often at all. So the reason I bought this was because I like to use it for doodling. So you can get really tiny details with this. It's a very thin pen, like I said, so you can just go in very small details. And like, you know, if you guys know me, you'll know I do like to doodle in my planner sometimes, and most of the time I am using this pen when I do that. So another pen I like to doodle with is the Pigma Micron. This is a really popular pen, especially among bullet journalists and stuff, and I do like this pen. However, to me, and I'll show you in a second, so I'm just going to draw a similar flower, and now I'm going to try to show you. So can you see that this one's blacker than this one? So I really like how this writes, but to me, when it's up next to black lettering, it looks almost brown, and that's not my preference. I prefer it to look darker, so I don't use that one that much. I mostly use the Pentel Energel for doodling. Okay. Another pen that I use once in a while is the Pilot G2, and this is a very popular pen among planners. It does write very smoothly. I do like it. However, it's a little more liquidy, if that makes sense, so it takes a little bit longer to dry in my experience. And I don't know, it's a little bit, it almost feels a little smoother than the Pentel Energel, but in a different way. So unless, you really have to try both to see what I mean, but I prefer how the Pentel Energel feels, and I think it just writes a little bit better. But this is also a very good pen. Okay, the next pen is a Tul pen, and I have a whole set of these with all the colors, and I love this pen. I love the colors especially. I love to color in my doodles with these Tul pens. They're super smooth. They just write really, really well. You can see this is a little bit thicker than some of these other ones, so I'll use it sometimes for my writing if it's a little bit bigger. So if you press down more, you can get it even thicker. So sometimes I'll do some decorative. This is just really quick, it's sloppy, but I'll do some decorative like lettering with this, but I can't draw huge letters because then it'll be too thin, but for some of the smaller letters sometimes I do use this one. Okay, I also have a whole set of these in different colors. This is the Staedtler Triplus Fineliner, and let me see if I can spell this correctly. I think that's it. And this is a good pen too. It's not as dark as you can see, maybe you can't, but it's not as dark as the Tul or the Pentel Inner Gel. It is not a gel pen, it's a felt tip pen, and I just prefer the gel pen because I like how that feels when I write. But this is also a good pen, and the set of colors is great as well. The next pen is Papermate Inkjoy, and this is a gel pen as well. This is a 0.7 tip, and I use this one probably more than the Tul, but it's a similar, to me, it's a similar feeling as the Tul. And I don't know, I really like this pen. It's smooth, it is really dark, and I like the way it feels. It's grippy. So I have a whole set of these in all different colors. I use these a lot. Next one is, and this is actually worn off because I use this so much, but this is a Tombow dual brush pen, the ABT, and I love this pen. Now it has a brush tip and it has a fine tip, and I really don't use the brush tip very often because I'm not great at brush lettering, and I will tell you that if you're a beginner brush letterer, you probably don't want to use the Tombow because it has a really big tip and it's very, very flexible, which makes it really hard when you're trying to learn brush lettering. So, like you can see already, I'm messing up. So I'm really not good at the brush lettering, but I'm trying. And this to me is just very, very difficult to control. See, I can't even. So I was just gonna write happy, but it's terrible. Anyway, you can see I need work on my brush lettering, but this is just really hard to control. So I don't use this very often, but I do use this all the time. I probably use this side in every single spread. So I'll use it for my big writing. Like if you see me doing the big writing in some of the blocks in my planner, it's usually this pen that I am using, and it feels good in my hand. It's very pigmented. It's just an all over really great pen, and I love it, honestly. And I also like to do the faux calligraphy with this pen. So if you're not good at brush lettering, and I'm gonna do a whole lettering video at some point, but if you're not good at brush lettering, you can do, I'm sure you've seen this before, but you can do like a faux brush lettering in that you take your pen and you like make the downstrokes thicker and the upstrokes thinner, and then it looks kind of like, it doesn't look as good as real brush lettering, but it looks kind of like you used a brush pen. And yeah, so I do this a lot in my planner as well. And this is the pen that I use for this. And that's just like, I usually do it more slowly and more carefully, but that's just really quick. But anyway, love this pen, can't live without it. I would like to get it in several colors, but like I said, I use black the most, so that makes sense. Okay, okay, this is the Crayola Supertips, and I'm, like I said, learning brush lettering, and this is really great if you're learning, because It's just really easy to get the thin upstrokes compared to that Tombow, which is really difficult. This is much easier. So if you're new to brush lettering, I would suggest getting a set of these, or even just, I don't even know if they sell them separately, but I have a whole set of all the colors and it was pretty cheap. So I'll put the link to this and everything down below, and you can check those out, but I would recommend these for sure. Okay, and then the last pens I am going to tell you about are the Tombow Fudenosuke, and I'm not sure, Fudenosuke, I'm not sure I'm saying that right, but these are really good also beginner brush lettering pens, and I think that this one is more flexible than this one. One's black and one's navy. They come in a set. So yeah, this is the more flexible one. And but still, it's much easier than the bigger Tombow. And then this one is easier to control for sure. You can get super thin upstrokes with this one because it's just a more firm pen. Ooh, that's not very good. Anyway, I'm still learning right along with you guys. So those are the pens I use all the time, and like I said, this pen and this pen are in pretty much every spread, but I do use all of these. So if you have any questions for me, just let me know, and everything will be in the links down below. So let me know which pens you use and you like the best, and click the like button if you like this video, and please subscribe to me if you would like, and I'll be putting out more videos shortly. But you can also check me out on Instagram at Planning with Bumble. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.